Welcome everyone to an episode of Hanseatic Dreamland that I'm super excited to bringing to you. Today we are building our first sci-fi build with the brand new pack, and Hanseatic Dreamland is actually more rich than ever before with this edition. We've started in the last episode with the hall. Today we are starting with the retro futuristic corner. This is the entrance area we had last time with the rocket rotating around, just as a recap. And today we are starting to build out the interior of our wonderful hall. But before, as always, a little side note from our sponsor, Instant Gaming. They are a wonderful platform where you can get game keys or in-game currencies such as PlayStation money, Xbox money, and they're always having great support and also great values. So just make sure to check out the link in the description. You can find full games, pre-orders, and obviously DLCs of your favorite games. And also, you help me directly by purchasing via that platform, because a small part of that will land at mine. And yeah, that's all I want to say. Let's actually go into our wonderful build today, because we are building a sci-fi inspired corner, and you guys have been knocking it out of the park in the last episode. Thank you so much for the amazing amount of comments. Funny side note, as I said earlier, comments don't really do anything for the engagement anymore of videos, so the views on that video haven't been really nice. But the good thing is, as I said earlier, it's not about the views, it's really about the engagement and the feedback. So please continue commenting that much. It is absolutely bonkers to see the ideas and the ingenuity that you guys come up with. And the clear winner of the kind of approach for sci-fi we had is going to be retro futurism 50s, 60s inspired, which I'm a big fan of, you know, not gonna lie. This is definitely something I'm very, very happy with. But also, I thought about maybe making it a bit of a split one, so that the right-hand side of the hall is going to be the kind of 50s, 60s inspired, and the other side I'm going to explore a bit of a more kind of brutalist approach with a bit more kind of Star Wars, Star Trek vibe included. But, you know, I'll get there while we do it. So the next couple of days I'll be building a lot in this project, so you can expect quite a lot of content coming, and I'm preparing for my parental leave, which is going to be soon, so there's going to be a lot that I'm doing. But yeah, just about this build today, man, these pieces are so wonderful, and I wanted to achieve something that is very theme park-esque, but at the same time very creative and typical Rudi. So what I did is something, I think I've never done such a great interior. I really went a little bit ahead and did something really cool. So I built with the shell of the house that it was, but I didn't just change the walls from the inside. Now, I did it as a real theme park would need to do it, in order to maintain the shape of the building, or maybe even to secure the brick and so on, because potentially these houses are kind of regulated, that you're not allowed to change the walls from the interior. So what you need to do then is, apparently, you need to get the walls and have them move in a step, maybe a meter or two, and have like a bit of a security bit between, which is exactly what I did over here. And so the sci-fi walls are a little bit stepped inside a little, you know, they just kind of cramped in a tiny bit, giving that space a bit more of a sci-fi feel. And yeah, apparently with the new pathing options, this area is going to look absolutely fantastic. I decided to go for the vinyl path because it has that little glow to it, which I'm a big fan of. And also it's very typical for this kind of 60s, 70s, 50s retro futurism. You always see these kind of vinyl glowing grounds, or it's carpet, and we're going to do something with carpet too, don't worry. There's a lot I was exploring in this build. Not everything will make it in today's build. I already continued building something else, so the next episode is about ready, and I'm really excited to bringing you a couple of retro futurism inspired episodes next. But there will also be quite a lot in our Splash Peak. Splash Peak is also going to receive a couple of episodes next. I'm very, very excited to bringing that all to you. So please make sure to, you know, also click the bell if you haven't already, or sub to the channel if you haven't already, to be always on top of the news when there is a new episode coming. I'm very, very excited to, you know, do that at the moment. There's also going to be some more Planet Zoo, so no worries about that. But just to mention what is going on. But yeah, this build, oh my god, what was that inspired by? Well, mainly Pinterest, I gotta say. I went to Pinterest and typed in retro futurism. That is basically what I did. And then you can specify, and then I was going to go for like 60s futurism is kind of what I typed in then at the end of the day. And there were some really cool, like very organic, roundish shaped buildings. And I thought, you know, I want to go with that one. I want to go for that one and see if I can pull that off with very kind of straight pieces apparently. But these this kind of archway wall piece with the glass ceiling. That one was really cool to achieve that kind of rounded look. And as we haven't really themed a flat ride that much at all in Planet Coaster 2 yet, I thought it was really time to give a flat ride a proper theming this time around. And this is why I decided to go with a flat ride first. You're going to see a coaster in the next episodes too. We're going to have to decide, and you'll see that as a sneak peek at the end of the episode. We have to decide if we go for that type of coaster or if we change to another one. I'm not entirely sure about this, but all in all, I got to say that this is really fantastic, and it makes a lot of sense, in my opinion, to, you know, just embed a coaster in this hall as well. But, you know, as we've been very focused on coasters lately, I decided to go for a flat ride. I thought that was just like a way better idea, and I went above and beyond. It's not only the shell I built, no, we also have a very nice queue area. One of my better queues, I must say. I've done a couple of very nice queues in the past, don't worry, but it's really like this one over here feels super intricate, feels super connected to the ride. It just makes sense. I feel like the size of it all is also very fitting for the type of theme park. It's not super long, but it's also not too short. It goes well around the flat ride, but it also gives that idea of having actual operational facilities in here. So the theming is not only a theming, but it also gives the whole ride a bit more realism context, as if where all the, you know, control units and the tech and stuff would be stored, if not in the basement. That is realistically now embedded into the ride itself. And you can see that the operator booth is just over there. We may actually put a door or so behind. I forgot about that yet, but I may do this as well, which is going to look very, very nice. A little bit of a bummer was that I couldn't scale this thing any smaller than what you are seeing right now. So I needed to trick around here a little, but I feel like, you know, the end result is very okay. I wish to be able to scale that down a little bit more, but yeah. Apparently we also needed to go for a fitting kind of style, and no worries, also there will be something in the middle of the ride as well that we're going to theme and what is going to move around with. I haven't done this yet. The next episode will focus a bit more on that. The main reason is that I that I really wanted to ensure that we have something really cool on there, and I have a very nice idea, but that has to go together with the next episode. So that's why I'm going to spare that out, but it's going to be very nice. And also, if you've seen last episode, yes, that is also going to be partially what I will be doing with the outside attraction. There is another flat ride we have got on the outside, which is also going to receive a very subtle theming as well. But one step after each other. I couldn't do everything at once because what you're seeing right now is that this build over here got very detailed. I got really carried away while building this, simply because it was so much fun with the sci-fi pieces. And also, the aquatic pack goes very well together with the sci-fi pack, I must say. A couple of the aquatic pieces are super nice, but I'm also so glad that we got this sci-fi door back, because the sci-fi door acts like a really, really nice backstage door as well. It's also cool that we can now finally flexi-color that. I'm very, very certain that in Plinko 1 that was always just a blue door and we were not able to change the color. Maybe we were at the end of the day. I don't know if they changed this later on in the game, but I know for the longest time it wasn't. So very nice to have. Using a couple of these resort doors over here, because they have that very nice glossy kind of glass without seeing anything behind, to just kind of play with the idea of a spaceship or space station maybe. So yeah, really, I am very happy. And then I felt like we have to go even more into this kind of 60s vibe. Art Deco is something that definitely is an inspiration for that too, because Art Deco and retro futurism kind of go together a little bit. So there's a very nice kind of, you know, interface between those two styles. And I thought, you know, give it a go and use these pieces. And these wonderful base game pieces over here. I mean, everything is base game, but you know what I mean, not the new theme, it's actually the existing theme. I'm not sure if that's from the resort theme or if this is just a basic panel we have over here, but they look fantastic. They go very nicely together with the sci-fi pieces. They have a super similar kind of shading on the glossiness of the metal, so everything is super nice. And yeah, I also thought, you know what, I want to make like a custom ground, because one of the beautiful additions of having no curbs anymore is that you can go fully freestyle on your queue areas now, and they will look so much more organic and so much more realistic. You'll see that later on. I didn't even need to fiddle around with all the, pathing anymore, that you make them square. I mean, Taggy did deliver us with some very neat blueprints, but it's also very nice that you don't need to anymore. You can just now leave it as is and just put a texture above it and make sure that you put your own fences in, and you're good to go. You could even go that far that you're using the in-game railings, but while I must say the railings, as soon as you use the railing, the curb is back in action. So I would recommend to anyways not use the railing, but it's super easy to just put your own fences in there. Also, you have a lot more customization options if you do it yourself. So no worries. I just put them on again, as you can see over here, to know where exactly the queue goes. The reason for that was really to put the fences in the correct positions. And you'll see I'm just creating my own run now, aligned to the ground tiles to make it really look like as if this all is one enclosed area. And then I started using these pieces and aligned them with the fences. And you can see I left out some very big areas to make it a lot more realistic. You could then technically go in, and you will see that in a second that I'm doing this, and just scale out the pathing a little bit more so that actually people will stand in these areas. You can make it a lot wider if you want to, but the main idea is that you get this very, very natural looking queue area, and I am the biggest fan of that change. So you can really go and make some super realistic appearing things now. I really, really love that. And as you can tell, it just starts to look already super realistic over here. I'm very, very, very happy about this. It's absolutely looking fantastic. It's absolutely what I've expected from this game from the get-go, and now we have it. So there's really not that much I can say about this. It's really, really nice. But I'm gonna end the voiceover here, because I unfortunately lost a couple of things that I was building. So you'll see a bit of a nice stuff in the real-time part later on, but you will also see some very nice stuff in the next episode. So please stick with me. The next episode will be equally good, if not better. And maybe you can hear that from my commentary. It's absolutely great. I cannot wait to show you more, and hopefully you guys are as excited as I am for the next episode. I talk to you in a couple of seconds in the real-time part, and enjoy that one. Alright, this is the real-time part of this wonderful build, and I say wonderful build because I'm freaking proud. I think this is one of my best ever flat ride creations I have. There are a couple of little sneaky peekies for the next episode, which is going to come rather soon, but this is going to be very cool. I am so proud of this area. Honestly, I had this retro futurism idea in mind before you guys were even commenting it that much, but everything about this looks so cool. I am very proud of how the hall itself looks from the inside. That was quite a challenge to get this done right. As you can see, the entrance isn't fully done. This entire side of the hall isn't done yet. So it's gonna be for a couple of episodes, which I'm very excited. I'm very excited about this. It's gonna be a very, very sci-fi leaned next episodes, which is going to be cool. We're gonna have a restaurant. We're gonna have some other cool things in here. We are going to have a track ride, which I'm still trying out a couple of things. This is gonna be very exciting. This is a save file without this one to not spoil this, because it's becoming really, really cool. I am elaborating on a couple of other things too, but this ride over here, as I said, I'm very proud of because of the way it looks. But let me just go into the queue. There are so many things now coming together from this update, and oh boy, am I happy. So we have this queue entrance over here, as you can see, and now as we don't have curbs or so anymore, you don't need to do all the shenanigans anymore with like making paths square and so on. You just make where they should go, and then you can just style it yourself, because this is now all done by myself, which is so cool. You know, we go through here, we can obviously cut short, and then we get into what I feel like is the best thing about this thing. We have a pretty amazing queue. I'm gonna put like a billboard behind that one. There's like a window, but I will make like a billboard with like maybe planet Earth or so behind, that it feels like you're in space. And I mean, look at that. Look at this queue area. Oh, I'm so proud of that. I'm so freaking proud of this. Look at it's simple, yes, I know, but it looks so retro sci-fi. It's exactly what I wanted to achieve. Exactly that kind of vibe I was going for. hopefully you feel it as much. I would love to have some weird pictures on the walls. Maybe I'm gonna grab some from Pinterest or so, like some free images for retrofuturism and put them to the walls. I think that could look really, really cool as a little effect. So, you know, never mind. I just quickly put them in just because, God, just because of that. Just because, look. Oh, this is too good. Yeah, I just need to corrupt them a little bit better. I just blankly put them in. These ones I just found very quickly, but they will get a very nice frame and make them almost like as if they're hanging down. And just, I mean, just look at the graphics. It's it just fills my heart. This is so freaking good. Also with the light effects over here, this is almost like a different game. But yeah, you're coming out here, then we have a little bit of a different style element, as you can tell. Very nice indeed. If you look into the sky, this is exactly something I wanted to achieve over here. And then this is where you would enter the ride. Now this is one simple flat ride. It doesn't look much. You know, I do get this. It does not look much, but it was so much work to get it all together, make it feel exactly this way. You can totally see where this is going, and I do hope you are as excited as I am, because I am certainly very excited about this sci-fi haul. I may do a bit of a theme switch in between, so maybe this is going to be retrofuturism, very like 80s, no, actually not 80s, like 60s, 70s style. And then maybe to the other side, we may actually go even further back or a little bit different. But, you know, I keep that open for the future. Same goes about the coaster. Not sure if I'm going to keep that one. Maybe you tell me in the comments if you like the coaster idea to have that go through here or not. So there's still a chance to do that and change this. If, you know, if you feel like there's a better idea, let me know. There are a couple of little things that will be in the next episode. I can't wait to show you. So I've been really testing a lot of stuff, so it's gonna be exciting. Make sure to stick with me here, and there will be a couple of episodes coming very soon, because I do have a couple days off and can do a bit of more content. So hopefully you are as excited as I am, and please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're interested for that content. And just have a wonderful day now. Make sure to check out the update, it's very good, and I talk to you as always, you know it, in the next one.